East and West, Anthology of Essays, B.A. English, Peshawar, Gomal University. The Indus in Fetters, Arnold J. Toynbee, between Oxus and Jumna. Once again I had slid back out of tribal into administered territory through the Handyside Arch, and was standing the razor-edge roof ridge of the Kohat Pass. The vast southward panorama that I had been gazing at longingly this time 3 years ago was once more spread out before me. Out there, on the plain far below, lay the green cantonment of Kohat town, and beyond it, ridge after ridge ran down towards the Indus from the main chain of the Suleiman range. Last time, a rendezvous in Beirut that could not be postponed had dragged me back through the arch and down again through the thickly settled corner of Afreedid tribal territory back to Peshawar, and thence to the airport. This year I have more time to play with. Today I corkscrewed down the Kohat side of the mountain to see the Indus in his fetters, and this will not be the last time either that I shall be threading my way through that arch. In June I shall be passing through it on a longer journey, to the Kuram Valley, to Quetta, and on through Baluchistan to the sea. So today I have been content to visit the Indus and return. The Indus has two fetters, Attock and Calabar. At Attock his widespread waters are suddenly confined. At Calabar they are as suddenly released, to spread themselves again, this time miles wide, down all the length of Sind. Today I was bound for the Indus rail and road bridge at Kushalgarh, partway down the great river's constricted track. But were we going to come out alive from the first stage of this onward journey from the pass? Corkscrew. The word is quite inadequate. Nearest that I can come to describing this hair-raising descent is to compare it with the road round the Sorrento Peninsula south of Naples. If you have ever ventured into that Italian death trap, you will have some notion of the descent from Kohat Pass to Kohat town. The mountain runs down to the plain in a series of giant steps, and the road, at its critical point, clambers round three sides of one of these. To hold the road at this point, one's car must have a lizard's feet. Well, we're down and through the cantonment and past the new government college heading east. The plain ends, the fields die away, and we are dodging through a stormy sea of chocolate-colored rocks and reefs. Thank heaven they have been frozen into stone. Otherwise they would surely have engulfed us, however deftly the threatened road might turn and twist. It is this tormented landscape that hems Father Indus in a giant stream imprisoned between the waves of a gigantic petrified ocean, and now we are on the bridge, looking down at the river flowing below us. At first glance he seems to be gliding ever so slowly, but when you watch the eddies on the hither side, you realize how swiftly they are chasing each other, each one of them eager to reach the exit from the prison, where the hurrying waters can once again expand and relax. On that sunny promontory over there, below high water mark, a herdsman is marshalling his cattle and sheep. The cows are basking placidly on the warm rock. The sheep are huddling together apprehensively and with good cause, for now the shepherd rounds up a batch of them and pushes them over the edge, and into the inlet of the river between this promontory and the next. Is he a madman, or is he a reincarnation of the evil spirit that stampeded the Gadarene swine to their death in the Sea of Galilee? If those lean, hairy swine just drowned, how can these fat, fleecy sheep survive? But the shepherd turns out to be neither devil nor lunatic. He knows his business. He is just using Father Indus for giving his sheep the periodical compulsory dip that English sheep are given in an artificial concrete bath. I cannot imagine English sheep accommodating themselves to this boisterous treatment. Before they had time to drown, they would die of panic. Not so these Middle Eastern sheep. They flopped in, went under, came up again, and then, to my amazement, started calmly to swim, till they had crossed the deep inlet, and were scrambling up again onto the opposite shore, shaking the water out of their fleeces like shaggy dogs. This confirms my conviction of the Middle Eastern breed's superiority. They are not only more beautiful than their English cousins, they are more spirited as well. Sheep-like, I should not be surprised to find that the 17th century Pathan poet chieftain Kushal Khan, after whom this village of the bridge is named, employs the term to describe his Katak fellow tribesmen's valor. The flock swims, the Indus flows. I could stand here watching them both all day.